Broncos country, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful victory Monday. I had to get on here right after I filmed like a very nice PFF review breaking down Bo Nix, a few of the other guys that really stood out. And what do I see? My friends Jeremy and Mark text me, Greg Dulich, he's not having a very good victory Monday today. He's been officially waived by the Broncos. Sadly, this is a move that I don't think surprises really any of us. He was somebody that I think that we were all hoping one final shot if he made the roster to see this work out. And he was able to stay healthy through training camp, which was awesome. And I thought had a pretty nice show out. You saw him utilized in those first couple games in the offense, and then started to become less and less utilized, not even active on game day. And you saw the three tight ends that Sean Payton has gone with so far this year has been Adam Trautman, Lucas Krull, who, don't get me wrong, we love Lucas Krull, and Nate Adkins. You know, he's caught his first touchdown. I think he's got two on the year now. No, he didn't catch one yesterday. So he's still just got one. But yeah, this move is not surprising. You guys let me know where you feel like the Broncos go from here. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I feel like the Broncos will do with this open roster spot. Y'all be sure to smash that like, subscribe. We're almost to 2,000. I think we're less than 20 people away. And join the live chat. I'll get to some of your guys' comments after I conclude here with my little scenario that I'll play out and also read this article. So let me find myself again. Here we are. Let's go ahead and roll through this. This is according to DenverBroncos.com. So you can see player transaction, Greg Dulcich. Denver waived 30-year tight end Greg Dulcich, team announced on Monday. 2022 third-round pick. He appeared in the Broncos' first 4 games this season, and then was inactive the last 8 contests. Dulcich caught 5 passes for 28 yards across weeks 1 and 2. The UCLA product caught 33 passes for 411 yards, 2 touchdowns in 10 games as a rookie, but he was limited by injuries in his initial campaign. In 2023, Dulcich appeared in just 2 games, played 32 snaps as injuries kept him away from the field. As I just pointed out, Adam Trautman, Lucas Krull, Nate Adkins remain on the Broncos roster at tight end and have combined for 25 catches for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Broncos did not make a corresponding move and now have an available spot on the 53-man roster. Probably the first thing that I'm thinking about is, does this pave the way as we go into this Monday Night Football matchup against the Cleveland Browns this next week? Might we see Donald Parham also be brought into the fold? Would he possibly be signed? That I think is a possibility. I don't know if any of these ideas that I have are the most likely scenario. We'll see what plays out, but I imagine we're going to be signing somebody from our practice squad right now. Some of you guys have asked about Tyler Bidet. I have no update, and I have no idea if he's going to be coming back this year. My gut tells me no. When you're dealing with a back injury, maybe something that's spinal, I don't know if that was ever reported, but it didn't look good. Shut him down for the year and make sure that he's just okay and that he's going to live a comfortable life. We'll see him get back to it next year. Maybe this is to make room for Josh Reynolds this year. That is, or this week. That could be the scenario as well. We'll have to see. That could be something to keep in mind. I would also, though, I know it probably won't happen. If we're going to bring Josh Reynolds back on to the active roster, I would honestly like to see us waive Lil Jordan Humphrey and put him back on the practice squad. That's just me. I have a feeling, though, that that's not going to happen. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to switch out Donald Parham with Lil Jordan Humphrey or Greg Dulich? I think so. Anyways, let's continue on. Drew Sanders is also a possibility to where he could take this spot. I hope not. I hope not. Do not rush back an Achilles. No, thank you. De'Aaron Turner Yell's done for the year. So let's get to the other practice squad guys here. Quan Alexander, he could be somebody, but I like what we're doing right now with Cody Barton, with Justin Strnad, and Lavelle Bailey was active last week as well. Zach Cunningham was elevated for this past game as well against the Raiders. So I don't see why he would be signed to the active roster just yet. As you can see, Donald Parham on the practice squad. He's 6'8", 240 pounds. Intriguing prospect, no doubt about it. But some of these other guys, Blake Watson, Keidron Smith, Thomas Yasmin, I just don't see being signed right now. So, and the other guy that I'm interested in is A.T. Perry. Like, I definitely feel like he could be a nice addition on game day. Could play better than Troy Franklin right now, I think. But I understand if Sean Payton wants to go with, some of the young guys that he drafted this year, see if Franklin's going to continue to take some more steps. It was nice to see him bounce back on those last 2 targets after not being able to track his first 2 targets at Allegiant Stadium this week. But I would say probably the most likely guys, having kind of verbally processing this right now, going through this with you live, this is an instant reaction. It's probably Josh Reynolds going to take Greg Dulcich's spot, but I also could see possibilities to where maybe we make another corresponding move and we bring on Josh Reynolds along with somebody like Donald Parham or A.T. Perry. I would just like to see these guys. I'm intrigued, and right now I don't really feel like it can get much worse with our skill position group on the bottom end that's active during game day. So I know you don't want to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, we are winning games. We should have won that game against the Chiefs, whatever. Like, we're playing pretty good football ever since Baltimore, right? But also, man, this offense, while it might scare more people than it did maybe 3 weeks ago, it's still not firing on all cylinders, man. We're still leaving a lot of chips on the table, so to speak. So thank you guys for listening to me. Again, as a reminder, I did record a video that I will post now later this evening, going through some of the advanced stats with Bo Nix, how he was graded out, along with some of the other PFF grades from both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. A little spoiler, I want to see Garrett Bowles retained. I want to see him re-signed. When you got competent left tackle play, you don't take that for granted. I hope we re-sign Garrett Bowles. Anyways, let me get to some of your comments. Hey, you guys are in here. Let's go. Smash that like. Yeah, I'll get to all these. Thank you guys for being a part of it, a part of this. Marquee Sports, you weren't lying about going live. Yeah, this is a semi-sad day. Gonna miss the hair and mustache, but we know this is for Drew Sanders. Oh, dude, so we're actually going to do that. Are you guys more in the know than I? Ah, man, are we really bringing back Drew Sanders from an Achilles injury the same year in which he suffered it? Guys, I got to be honest. I don't love that. I've been very happy with the edge play that we've had, with Dondre Tillman, especially filling in for Baron Browning since we dealt him. I guess if we activate him, then Drew Sanders really is that dude. He really is that dude. But I just haven't seen it. Kodiak, good to see you, man. I sent you a DM on Twitter. Would love to collaborate sometime. I'm trying to branch out to other people in Broncos country. You're doing a great job. Guys, go subscribe to Kodiak as well as Marquee Sports. They are killing it. Kodiak says the fact that Dulcich couldn't earn playing time in a tight end room that featured Trautman, Krull, and Adkins as receiving options really says it all. You said it perfectly, man. What's taken me 10 minutes to say here, man. It's a shame. Hopefully a change of scenery benefits Greg Dulcich. I wish him well, but At this point, man, he was just dead weight. He was just dead weight. He was a cut candidate for us all off season long. We were wondering if he was going to make it, and it's just sad. Sadly, not surprised. I think that's what I put in my thumbnail. What could have been? What could have been? But it doesn't always work out. It's also crazy that he played so well with Hackett and Russ, yet so horribly with Payton and Nix. Yeah, totally. Totally. And I think a change of scenery could really benefit him. Just like we've seen a change of scenery, I think over the last couple of weeks, really, or season for that matter, benefit Jerry Jeudy. You know, I'm happy for him, but you're gonna be rooting against him this week. Jay Sauer, 21. I was really excited and feel bad the way injuries derailed his NFL career before it even started, but he did look terrible. Yep. Yep. You're 100% correct there. If they're going to activate Sanders, it has to be done by Wednesday. Otherwise, he will have to miss the rest of the season. Again, I know we've had medical advancements, in the last 10 years, right? Before ACLs used to be career enders. Now they're just whatever. But I know we've had Cam Akers come back from an Achilles injury. It's not like he's ever looked the same, to be honest. We've had maybe Dante Foreman. He's been okay after his after his Achilles tear. Emmanuel Sanders, I guess, came back, but he was never quite the same guy. Trying to think who else has had Achilles tears. It's a little bit different, I think, with quarterbacks. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he wasn't the most mobile dude anyways, so that hasn't been really affecting his game. Aaron Rodgers looks like a shell of himself this year coming off of his Achilles, but he's 40 years old. So I don't know. Like I'm more of just the mindset that, hey, you tore your Achilles in March. We will see you in 2025. That's I don't want to risk any re-injury or stunting any explosion that he might get back if they don't rush this thing. But I am not a doctor. The Broncos are being advised by medical experts, all of that. Our edge play is some of the best in the NFL right now. So there's no rush to bring him on. But I guess that means that if they do choose to activate him on Wednesday and to bring him back, then maybe, like I said, maybe he really is that dude. And maybe I should have more of an open mind about Drew Sanders at edge, because I guess we're not going to be getting him an inside linebacker like we were all hoping. But Kodiak says, I'd be really disappointed if they didn't activate Sanders, but I'd also understand. Man, that's awesome. He says, I feel like our blitzing scheme, he'd be great considering how lethal he was as a blitzer at Arkansas. That's a wonderful counterpoint to my point, Kodiak. He is an explosive athlete. He's a dynamic athlete. Of course, you would want to see an athlete like that at the inside linebacker position. Not very common, but I guess the Broncos just did not like what they saw. And Vance Joseph was like, yeah, this guy can be used off the edge in a dynamic way for me. And I'm excited to see him play whenever that is. I'm not totally out on Drew Sanders. We just really haven't seen much of him yet. But man, I'm glad we got Dondre Tillman and Jonah Ellis right now to fill in for him. And hey, if we got a fifth guy that we can also, he can kind of be a little bit of a joker with us. We can line him up at edge with some packages. We can put him inside maybe on some specific situations that could cause some confusion for offenses. So maybe he's kind of like a defensive joker for us in that sort of respect. Yeah, I want to see Parham too. I don't know why he doesn't get a run alongside Trautman. Yeah, and Bo Nix is accurate enough to where he can, throw the ball up to him in the red zone to where only he can get it. I think that Bo Nix could really take advantage of his big catch radius. William, good to see ya, says, yeah, I don't think Dulcich could ever come back from his injuries. Sometimes, man, that's just how it plays out, man. It's true. They just keep lingering, not worth keeping him at this point. Yeah, Parham's super talented, but Payton rather have Will Jordan Humphrey out there to make costly mistakes. That's how it feels. That's how it feels. Give me Donald Parham over Lil Jordan Humphrey. Now, Lil Jordan Humphrey still might be a better blocker than Donald Parham. Want to shout out, who was it? Tim Jenkins. I was watching his film review on Bo Nix today, and he really pointed out a nice kind of go pick route that Lil Jordan Humphrey ran on a third down to help get Vele open. Nice little man beater there. I think that's why you have Lil Jordan in there, not only for his blocking, but also he can get in the way and run those pick routes the way that you would, or that Sean Payton would want. Yeah, so who knows if there's really a role for Parham on this team. Man, I still want to see A.T. Perry. I still want to see him, but hey, we are going into week 12. There was this one guy, SpongeBob, that was always like, man, why are you making a big deal about A.T. Perry? The dude totally sucks. One, I don't think he totally sucks. I don't think he sucks. I think he's a good player, but this is around the point where I would assume that we would start seeing A.T. Perry activated. So I hope we see it. I want to see what he can do. Yeah, Dulcich hasn't played in forever, David. You're right. Depending on the injury to Moss, we could be bringing up a cornerback, a wide receiver is my guess, though. Thank you so much, Coach Chris, for tuning in. Yeah, man, it would be nice to get another weapon activated. I would really love that. I'm curious to see how Damari Mathis steps up in this role. You guys will see this in my little PFF recap that I'll do tonight. Again, if you guys don't pay for the premium for PFF, this is why I publish this, so you guys don't have to. So you guys can just kind of see the grades, the ratings. Of course, it's all subjective, but I just find it as an interesting talking point. Levi Wallace graded out pretty decent in coverage yesterday. Riley Moss, though, as a teaser to my video tonight, was the highest graded defender from the Broncos in this past week. So it's going to suck losing him for probably at least the next game. Hopefully he can come back for the Chargers game. So Mike Kliss seems to be making the case that, okay. Oh, awesome, Cody. I didn't see that DM. Heck yeah, I'll definitely respond. Awesome, man. Yeah. We'll get together. We'll chat it up, trying to expand, into greater Broncos country. And guys, please go subscribe to Kodiak. Congratulations on over 100 subscribers. Guys, he's really putting in the work. Incredibly smart, intelligent. I love how you break down the games, preview them. So guys, please go follow Kodiak, and I guess you'll be seeing us collaborate in the future. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see what else you got. I'll pick through a few more of these. Coach Chris, Sanders been practicing for 3 weeks, and unless we want to sit him for the year, we have to bring him back. Reynolds has to come back too, so we need to remove another player as well. Yeah, I wonder who else would be a player that we might cut. I'm going through the list right now, like maybe like Calvin Throckmorton or yeah, Calvin Throckmorton. Kind of like the rest of these guys. Maybe Owazarike. Maybe he goes back on the practice squad. Don't want to cut Frank Crum. Yeah, maybe Owazarike gets cut to bring back both Reynolds and Drew Sanders. Maybe that's it. Akers got activated like 7 months after his Achilles tear, but he absolutely barfed. Yeah. Oh, it's true. Oh, yeah. How could I forget about this, Mark? Tim Patrick tore his ACL and then tore his Achilles, and we still wanted him to stay. Yeah, I mean, that's how down bad our weapons group is. And shout out to Tim Patrick, man. Let's see him win a Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions. Really anybody but the Chiefs. Guys, are the Chargers going to Charger tonight? I sure hope so. We're getting the Harbaugh versus Harbaugh rematch. We gotta see the Ravens take care of business. I want to finish in second place in this division. Man, this is cruel. Sanders' middle name is MIA. Don't you mean Greg Dulcich? Man, we can't be putting that hex, that bad energy on him already. I love it, though. Fair enough. Maybe I'm a little hump hater. I mean, I don't know. I like little Jordan Humphrey, but he's pissed me off this year. So he's got too much of a role in the offense. I think we can all agree with that right now. Even guys who support little Jordan Humphrey, he needs to be like the fifth most utilized wide receiver. Brandon Johnson is better than little Jordan Humphrey in some respects. Yes. Mathis blows. I think Mathis has played pretty well this year in his little amount of time, and I thought he had a really good preseason. Can we put Dulcich on defense? Oh my gosh, man! Am I just the lone man on Mathis Island defending Damari Mathis here on YouTube? I mean, uh, I was out on Justin Sternad coming into the year, man. I'm not lying to you guys about that. I don't claim to be some football expert. I'm just coming on here to talk Broncos, give you guys my takes, right, man? I was done with Justin Sternad, man. I really was, and he's played good. So if Justin Sternad's played good after we've all given up on him, maybe we can get some good football out of Damari Mathis still, right? Right? Mike, thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, new sub to your channel. Big Broncos fan here from Rhode Island. Hey, welcome. Always great to get fans from all over the country, East Coast. That's what's up. Thank you so much for subbing, Mike. We're just getting started. Absolutely. If you do like college football, if you do like the Buffs, you can follow David Talks Buffs. Forgot my name for a second. So you can go follow that. That's college football, though. This is all about the Broncos. Akers actually tore his Achilles twice. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. Let's brighten up. Vele looks incredible. Yes. Yes. Imagine if he was just 24, man. It's crazy how he's already turning 27. Will he get a second contract with the Broncos? He'll be in his early 30s. That is so crazy to think about. But if he continues to play at this rate, I hope he does for his sake, man. I hope he can get a nice little Tim Patrick type of payday, a second contract, and really make some serious money here in the NFL. Because yeah, as a 7th round draft pick, it's not much, and in the grand scheme of things, and he's definitely right now already outplaying his draft position, which is, hey, kudos to Sean Payton. He's like, man, these 7th round draft picks never hit. If this guy was 23, they'd probably be drafting this guy with a 4th round pick or something like that. Hey, credit to him. Age is just a number to Sean Payton, right? Doesn't matter how old the rookie quarterback is. Doesn't matter how old the rookie wide receiver is. That's kind of fun. Yeah, okay, so we got two people right now on Mathis Island. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, go subscribe to Mark as well. Kodiak saying, I did research for a video last night. Vele served a Mormon mission trip out of high school. So his actual football age is 23 because he took 4 years off. Okay. Thank you. I think that's also why Garrett Bowles might have been a little bit older as well coming into the NFL, if I remember correctly. I think he might have done like a mission or something like that. Maybe I'm completely making that up, but you see not only guys at BYU, gray shirt and stuff like that, obviously, but it happens at Utah a lot as well. I mean, they're only like 45 minutes away from each other. So that makes sense. So yes, he doesn't have a lot of wear on the tire, so to speak. So maybe as he gets into his early 30s, he'll still have live and fresh legs. I have a question for you guys, though, right now. Cortland Sutton, we've been talking about him. Kodiak, I think you might have mentioned him in your video yesterday as well. How do you guys feel about him possibly returning for 2025 as a number 2 option? You got Vele, you got Cortland Sutton. You go out and sign or draft, that alpha wide receiver. And then you can focus on getting a stud running back as well. Like, say we get T. Higgins. Then we can go get a stud running back and a stud tight end with some of our top draft capital, or vice versa. We could, if you guys aren't satisfied with Luke Wattenberg, maybe we can go sign another center. I want to re-sign Garrett Bowles right now. I think he's got another good contract left in him. Again, I don't I don't want to take any bad left tackle play for granted. We have, since Orlando Franklin, honestly, we just thought we could plug and play right tackle for so many years, and it's just been a disaster. We were able to get it done, with Payton and those guys. Shout out to Tyler Columbus, baby. But I don't want us to move off of Garrett Bowles if he's still playing good football right now. And maybe he might take a little hometown discount to really see this thing through. He's lived his whole life out in the Rocky Mountains, man. Coach Chris, Mathis is known as the king of width. I wouldn't let Mathis guard Dulcich on the sidelines. He can go too. Dude flat out runs from the ball. This guy said he was a little too funny. Man, you are killing me, Coach Chris. Hey, but as much as I want to, go pull up some of his coverage snaps throughout preseason, I ain't gonna do that. You're welcome to have your opinion about Damari Mathis. I understand he's got to win over probably still a significant portion of Broncos country. I understand that. But don't be surprised, man, if he exceeds your expectations, if he gets some run over these next few games. I expect you to be back and say, you know what? He played better. We need guys like Sutton and Bowles. Those guys are severely important to Nix's development, even if they're not long-term answers. Guys, Courtland Sutton I think he might be on track right now to have the most productive season of his career. And at least yesterday, it sure seemed like he was getting enough separation. He's not known as a separator, right? But it's amazing how better some of these guys can look when you got a quarterback behind center worth a damn, right? It's a beautiful thing when you have competent quarterback play. It's really nice. You couldn't throw these digs to Courtland Sutton 15, 20 yards down the field. You couldn't run a bunch of dagger with Russell Wilson, right? It just wasn't going to work out. You couldn't run all this Y cross stuff, Tim Jenkins, shows. This is a fun offense, and he's playing some of the best ball of his career. You really do love to see it, and it's one of the best stories this year. Now, Javonte Williams, on the other hand, I'm not in big favor of going and paying a running back. I would like to preferably draft another running back, Ashton Genty, Cam Scadab. There's a lot of guys that we could get in the draft, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any running backs that do hit free agency. Still a guy that I would be pretty interested in. I'm not sure what his contract looks like, so I imagine he probably sticks around there. But, man, I would love to have a weapon like Austin Eckler on this team. I really would. So we'll just have to see. Victory lap. I was ready to move on from Sutton, but him and Bo are developing chemistry. Yes. And I always saw this season as kind of just Courtland Sutton's last year with the Broncos here, but even right now he's rising with he's playing. And I think that you want to take type of production and chemistry for granted. Again, it's important for us to get a true number one wide receiver in here, and I think we're going to be even more pleased. But we'll have to see how Sean Payton and the Broncos play this whole thing. He's under contract for next year, but I don't think he's got any guaranteed money next year. So there might be a mini extension worked out, something like that, if they want to keep him along for the ride here. But my hope is that you would see him sign a pretty affordable deal and stay here in Denver for like number 2 weapon money. I'm not opposed to that. And maybe does he need to kind of fall into that number 3 type of role at some point? If Vele really emerges, that's cool too. Kind of like a guy like Adam Thielen, I guess the Vikings drafted Addison after he left, right? But kind of like that type of thing, a guy that you can pay number 2 money, but maybe finishes out his career as that number 3 with the other guys emerging, all that. T. Higgins, he'd be a stud. He'd be absolutely incredible. It would be great to have a guy like DT on this team again, or Emmanuel Sanders, right? It's great to see Marvin Mims, looking great. I love it. I thought he was dead weight, and he has he's been playing a very important role. I love it. I love it. Mathis lost most of Broncos country when he made a tackle and wiped his finger down 63-10 versus the Dolphins. They got him benched immediately. Hilarious, man. Hilarious. Hey, you're not wrong about that. What do you guys think about the development of Franklin? I feel like Vele is exceeding expectation right now. Like, he's playing like a veteran, as you would expect from a 26-year-old rookie. But to me, Franklin is playing like a day 3 rookie right now. Like, pretty inconsistent, but having some of his moments flashing. I totally disagreed with people that thought he should be cut in the preseason. Remember Jamar Chase having all those issues with drops throughout his rookie camp. But I don't know if he's going to develop into like a starting wide receiver here for the Broncos. I mean, I would love that. But again, with any day 3 pick, usually my long-term expectations are more of like, hey, if you're a solid role player, that's all I really want. So in terms of that, I think Franklin's kind of right on track of like being a nice role player in this offense. I've been a little disappointed that him and Bo really haven't been able to connect on the deep ball, on those go routes. Sometimes Bo has a bad throw downfield. Other times Franklin drops it or doesn't track it, or like Bo's throwing one route, Franklin's running the other. It's been strange with them both coming from Oregon, how they haven't been able to find that chemistry here in the NFL. So this is a fun possibility. How about we bring Tez Johnson onto the team this year? We draft him out of Oregon. I'm not sure where he's supposed to go, maybe first round, but he is Bo Nix's adopted brother. So that would also be cool to have the little family thing going on. I think that would be awesome. And Tez Johnson, he is that guy. He is that dude, a great wide receiver. And plus, I just like all those. If you're a fan of college football, especially, you'll see family members play together and stuff like that. I just think it's pretty cool. So not only is Tez Johnson amazing, but if he's Bo's adopted brother, he's got to be good people as well. He's going to come in here and work really hard, and they probably already have an insane amount of chemistry. Mark says ahead of schedule for sure, but still needs a lot of work. Yes, very rough around the edges, but I think he's proven himself as a NFL level talent, like no doubt about it. Mims got an extra gear, get that man more touches. I'm in favor of that as well. That like 40-yard catch he had out of the backfield was brilliant, and the Raiders didn't even realize he was in the backfield, man. It was awesome. Sutton is good route runner. Bowles, Mr. Hold has played solid, and he's a fire plug team player. Our offensive joker is Mims. He's going to line up at the quarterback here very soon. That dude is everywhere. Yes. Yeah, Garrett Bowles, it's great because now I just associate him with just being solid rather than penalties now. It's a beautiful thing. How about his development? Credit to him, man. Really working through it. Hopefully we can get a real receiver coach. We need an overhaul at the skill position coaches. I would agree with you, which would speed up the development of our projects like Mims and Franklin. While I will step back from my position a couple weeks ago of just calling for Kerry Colbert, man, to go after the season. If Sean Payton were to make that decision at the running back position, wide receiver, tight ends, because of the lack of development that we've had there, I am more than okay with that. I'm right there with you, Kodiak. Defensive positional coaches have been outstanding. Yes. Benino, Allen, Cooper, Locke taking steps forward, but offensive positional coaches are still a work in progress for Sean Payton. And yes, we have green offensive coaches at those positions. I know at least with our running back coach and our wide receiver coach, this is both their second year ever being at this position in the NFL. I can't speak to tight end off the top of my mind. So it would be nice to get a guy maybe with a little bit more proven experience in here at these positions. Yeah, especially because this, again, I'm preaching to the choir. Our running backs have just, Javante's vision just has not gotten better. Solid pass protector, that's wonderful. Think a pretty dependable receiver out the backfield, but the main thing when it comes to just being a consistent running back, that running the ball, you guys saw it these last 2 weeks, right? So we need an overhaul. We got to mix up the energy. We gotta mix some things up, right? Get some new energy in here and see how it all goes. So, guys, I'm gonna end this. Again, thank you so much for coming in here on this breaking news live. It's always fun to go live when we got some breaking news. I'll keep you guys updated this week with my reaction to whatever we do with this open roster spot prior to Monday night. And yeah, I look forward to more collaborations probably here soon with Kodiak Broncos. And again, I have my PFF grades breakdown posting later tonight as well. So smash that like, subscribe. Again, on our way to 2,000. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Bo Nick's film room on the way this week as well. Hey, Coach Chris and all the new guys, Mike, thank you so much for tuning in. Victory Lap, all the consistent guys, Jay Sauer. This is always fun hanging out and talking with you guys. It's a great time to be a Broncos fan. We deserve it. Go Broncos.